Hello friends, this video on some natural phenomena part 1 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Topics to be covered in this lesson are lightning, its causes and safety, earthquakes, its causes and protection against earthquakes. So this lesson is about some natural phenomena. Well, we are going to discuss two very important phenomena which take place around us, which takes place in nature, and we come across them in our day-to-day life. So one such phenomena which we are going to discuss is lightning. You would have experienced lightning during rainy season. Not only rainy season, whenever it rains, you would have experienced thunderstorm, lightning. So here we are going to see how exactly lightning happens, what causes lightning, how can we protect ourselves from lightning. So we will look into the detail of lightning. The second phenomena which we will talk about are the earthquakes. So I am pretty sure that you would have heard about the massive earthquake which took place a couple of months ago in Nepal. So it was a very intense earthquake which caused a huge destruction in terms of life as well as property. So we will see what causes earthquakes, how can we protect ourselves from earthquakes, and what are the various ways by which earthquakes severity can be measured, and what do we conclude out of that. So these are two important natural phenomena which we are going to discuss in this lesson. So we will first start our discussion with lightning. So when we talk about lightning, so it's like the very similar thing which you see in your home is the sparks which you see when a wire gets broken, or a spark which you would have seen often coming out of an electric socket. So these sparks and the lightning which you see during rains, so they are similar phenomena. So we are going to spend a considerable amount of time understanding the concept of lightning. Now you would have all seen how lightning happens. It is like a spark of light on the sky, and sometimes the spark is so intense that it actually brightens up everything. So sometimes it is that extreme or that intense as well. Now it seemed to be something very interesting happening out there in the sky. That's how we feel. Now in ancient days, people did not know the scientific cause behind lightning. What exactly is happening in the sky that causes lightning? So there were a lot of misconceptions regarding the cause of lightning. People felt that lightning was nothing but a manifestation of the gods. So it was like lightning was kind of God's anger. So they considered that when God is angry, he is giving an indication of his anger by lightning. Many thought that any spot which is struck by lightning, because lightning basically is a flash of light which comes out from above, from the sky or from above, and it falls to the ground. So it basically targets some area on the ground. So people thought that since it is something which is sent by the god, so whichever area, whichever spot is being struck by lightning was considered to be religious. It was considered to be sacred. It was kind of a god's weapon. So that is how lightning was considered in ancient days. But later, with scientific developments, people got to know the real cause behind lightning, and they found that lightning is nothing but a phenomenon which happened due to electric discharge. And this electric discharge concept is based on the concept of electric charges. Now, when this concept was known to people, then they got to understand that all these stories which were made to believe that all these things made lightning happen, they were all nothing but a myth. So here in this lesson, we are going to understand the real reason behind lightning. Now, in order to do that, we should have a very clear understanding about the concept of electric charge. So before we start discussing about lightning, let us understand electric charge. So what do we mean by a charge? Just let us look at some of the common examples which you can try it out yourself as well. And that's how we will introduce electric charge. Let us suppose you have a balloon, okay? You take that balloon and rub it on your hair for a couple of seconds or maybe a minute. So you just rub that balloon on your hair when your hair is dry. That is important thing. So let's suppose your hair is dry, your hair doesn't carry a lot of oil or a lot of water, and you just rub the balloon on your dry hair, and after some time you take the same balloon near a wall. So what happens? The balloon tends to stick to the wall. This is something which you can try out. Or what you can do is take a balloon, rub it on a towel. So on a towel you just rub it for some time, and then you take the same balloon near a wall, and to your surprise again you will see that the balloon sticks to the wall. Now, this is something interesting, right? The balloon doesn't have a glue on it. And before it was rubbed, that time the balloon was not sticking to the wall. But after getting rubbed, how come is it getting attracted to the wall and it is sticking to the wall for quite a good amount of time? So that's interesting. Not only this, you can even try out observing something like this. Let's say you take a plastic comb, right? You try to comb your hair with this plastic comb again when your hair is dry. So just try these experiments when your hair is dry. Now why I am saying it should be dry, I'll explain that later when you understand the concept of charges and all. So take this plastic comb, just try to comb your hair with it, and then bring the same comb near some small bits of paper, maybe very tiny pieces of paper. Now, as you bring the comb near to the paper, you do not touch it to the paper, but when you bring it quite near to the papers, what happens is the paper starts to stick to the plastic comb. The paper literally starts jumping, as you can see here. So that they want to stick to the plastic comb, and that's why they get attracted towards it and they jump to meet the plastic comb. Now again, what happened here? So in both of these cases, you see, there is nothing which can actually make the objects attract each other, because there was nothing between the wall and the balloon. Sometime back, they were not sticking to each other. But now, after being rubbed with a towel or after being rubbed on your hair, it is sticking to the wall. Similarly, for the plastic comb, earlier it was not attracting the bits of paper. But once it was combed on your dry hair, now it attracts pieces of paper. So what is the magic behind this kind of attraction? So here comes the concept of electric charge. Basically, these objects like the balloon in the first case and the plastic comb in the second case, these objects are getting electrically charged. So when the balloon was rubbed on the towel, the balloon was electrically charged by rubbing. Similarly, when the comb was moved on your hair, the comb got electrically charged. Now you might be curious to know, what do we mean by electrically charged? What is this charge? Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.